Welcome to Keck's Construction Engineering. Today, we're going to be talking about the difference between an architect and a civil engineer. So, both architects and civil engineers are very important in the construction industry, and they both deal with designing buildings and infrastructure. However, there are some key differences between the two professions. So, an architect is responsible for the overall design of a building or structure. This includes the building's appearance, how it functions, and how it will be used. They work with clients to understand their needs and then develop plans that meet those needs. Architects also need to be aware of local zoning laws and building codes, and they need to ensure that their designs are in compliance with those codes. In addition to designing buildings, architects may also oversee the construction project to ensure that the building is constructed according to their plans. Now, a civil engineer, on the other hand, they focus on the structural integrity of a building or infrastructure project. This includes things like the foundation, the framing, and the building's resistance to things like wind and seismic activity. Civil engineers use their knowledge of physics and mathematics to design structures that are safe and efficient. They also need to be familiar with local building codes and regulations, and they need to ensure that their designs meet those codes. Unlike architects, civil engineers typically do not oversee the construction process. Here's a simple analogy to help explain the difference between an architect and a civil engineer. So, think of an architect as the artist who designs the painting. They have a vision for what the painting should look like, and they use their creativity to make that vision a reality. The civil engineer is the engineer who designs the bridge. They need to take into account things like the weight limits and the environmental conditions, and they need to ensure that the bridge is both safe and functional. Both professions require a bachelor's degree, although civil engineers typically have to take additional courses in things like structural analysis and design. Both professions also require a license to practice. However, the requirements for licensure vary from state to state. In addition to the typical job duties, both architects and civil engineers can also specialize in different areas. For example, some architects specialize in designing healthcare facilities, while others specialize in designing schools. Some civil engineers may specialize in transportation engineering, while others may specialize in environmental engineering. Alright, so hopefully this video has helped to explain the difference between an architect and a civil engineer. If you're interested in pursuing either of these careers, I encourage you to learn more about each profession and to explore the different career options available. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and subscribe to our channel for more great content. Have a great day.